We're about to check out this new song from Dax called PTSD. I've been avoiding Dax's music. I've seen it. I've seen it pop up in my feed. I'm a subscriber. I'm well aware of Dax. You know, on this channel, I got a with this reaction bit. We focus on independent hip hop. I'm. You might wonder why I've been doing Dax. Well, the truth is, the subject matter of his songs lately is just pushed me away. Like I didn't want to deal with that stuff on a public outlet like this. All right, and I'm going to talk about what that means because I think that ties in with his song today, and I think it's just important to share this type of thing within a little community because maybe what I'm saying might help somebody else, maybe it'll help me. I don't know, but let me tell you first why I've been avoiding his. He had depression. I know he had Dear Alcohol come out. I don't know, like 9, 10 months ago. It's just blown up. I haven't listened to it. No idea what it's about. Except I can gather from some pretty good ideas from the title of the song. Now, I don't have a problem with alcohol. I never have. I drink very rarely, sometimes more than others. Spent some time in my 20s drunk, but it is what it is. But that doesn't mean that alcohol and alcoholism hasn't reached out its evil, vile finger and touched my life in devastating ways. It has. In two of them specifically, one led to a good result because it wound up with me being a single father and having the amazing and life-altering experience of raising my daughter by myself. And I wouldn't change that for the world. And that was a direct result of alcoholism in my marriage and in my, and the other way that it reached out and touched me is just one I'm not really wanting to deal with on this, but let's just say it has some devastating effects that I'm still learning to deal with here. So I didn't really want to watch that fucking video of uh of Dax's because I just wasn't ready to touch on those things yet. And then after that, he had a song out, Depression, which is another one that just blew up. And I avoided that one. I didn't feel like talking about depression either, frankly, because if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you know that I've talked openly about dealing with that and anxiety issues that I've had throughout my life. And, I experienced some success in overcoming that. And I shared that on the channel. And then, you know, the pandemic came along, and then two very specific incidences happened to me during the pandemic to close friends of mine. One was a revelation about an incident in my past, and the other one was something I just don't feel like talking about. But I'm just to say that it put me into a depression would be putting it mildly, and I've been dealing with that on just a day-to-day basis. And I didn't really want to react to his song because I didn't feel like sharing that stuff publicly and the feelings and the shit that might bring up. And now that brings us to today, where I see Dax has released PTSD, which we're about to check out together. And I decided to go ahead and check this one out because these conversations are important, and I want to have this conversation with you, my viewers and my subscribers on this channel. I want to hear what Dax has to say about this. All three of these things are tied together, at least in my life. PTSD is something that I know that I have issues with from incidences of violence in my past that literally affect my day-to-day life today. Um, you know, there's certain things that I cannot, if I don't have certain things set up at night where I'm sleeping, where like I will know if there are intruders in my house, I cannot sleep. And that's a direct result of violence that occurred to me multiple times in my past. Like from that, like I just can't. I have to have certain things secure. And it's not secure in ways that no one can get in. It's simply secure in ways that it will awake me so that I can defend myself should someone be coming into my home to attack me, which might sound outrageous until you suffer some violence like that a few times and you understand maybe that's not so far-fetched. And for me, that was a reality of my life that I've been through on multiple occasions. And the effects of that all these years later is still deal with it day to day. And I don't say that like woe is me. Like I'm not any type of victim. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying so I'm not just coming on here and whatever. Like if I say I have experiences with PTSD or with alcohol and the effects of alcoholism directly on my life or depression, it's real. Like I'm keeping it real on this channel. I keep it real with my reactions. I keep it real with my reviews. I keep it real with the fucking weed stuff that I talk about. And I'm keeping it real with this. So I'm hoping that maybe sharing some of this stuff, because for me, what made a big breakthrough in my depression was listening to a lot of these fighters, like fighting, boxing, mixed martial arts plays a big part in my life. I used to be a boxer when I was younger. I should have been a pro fighter. I made poor choices that kept me from realizing that aspiration. And well, let's just check out this song. Let's just see what's up here. All right. We're going to talk about it, and I hope that whatever I share. Oh, well, I was just saying that. Sorry, I lost track. I lost my train of thought there. With the fighters and the other stuff, I was tied into that world, and hearing guys like Tyson Fury come out a few years ago and openly talk about his depression. Other fighters in MMA, like Tyrone Woodley, talked about it. Um, Lots of them have, and I think that was really helpful, because it's kind of a taboo subject for men. Some men, especially, like, I'm a firm believer in being masculine. I think masculinity is a good thing. And part of the problems with masculinity is that we tend as men to think that it's some kind of weakness to share that we might be feeling depressed or anxious or whatever. But you have guys that are clear, like alpha males, like a Tyson Fury as an example, guys in music and independent hip hop like Adam Calhoun talking about their depression, their anxiety, Tom McDonald talking about that shit, Mercules, others. And it was that was helpful to me. And now I'm just a regular guy. Maybe me sharing this stuff might be helpful to somebody here watching your video who's just a regular guy too. I don't know. But we'll see what Dax has to say. And I'm going to probably pause and talk about this, and perhaps I'll share some more of my story, perhaps I won't, but we're going to talk about the bars, and we're going to do so in ways that, not to try to make anybody a victim or to claim victimhood status, but simply to share experiences in order to perhaps help others that might be listening, or to have the therapeutic release that can often come with sharing shit that has happened to you. So if you feel like sounding off in the comments about anything of that nature, feel free. And I will get back to as many as I can. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and check out Dax, PTSD. And I got a friend who just suffering some horrible effects of post-traumatic stress disorder from an incident that happened when he was 17 years old. He's 40. He's in therapy. It is needed. And he's not a weak man. He's a bad motherfucker. All right, let's check this out. Dax, PTSD. Inspired by real events. Ain't it all?
I was walking home on a Sunday. 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 Not looking back, but I'm not looking forward to anything in my life, cause it never liked me. I can't sleep cause I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunt and do divide me.
All right, we're going to stop right here and talk about this for a second. First off, in my last video was on Tom McDonald's Ghost, which I think is a great song, and I entitled it something along the lines of "When Rappers Try to Sing." Most of the time when rappers try and sing, it's kind of a fail. That doesn't mean the song doesn't work. And what I was saying about Tom was just that he's not a professional singer. Like, doesn't mean the song isn't great. I love it, but a lot of his fans seem to take offense at that. But whatever, I'm still going to stick with that. He's not a great singer. Dax apparently has some pipes, like Upchurch has some pipes. I had no idea he could sing this well. There's a difference between being able to sing and make a catchy song and being like a singer with some serious pipes, where, like, if you heard him in karaoke, you'd be like, damn, you should be a pro singer. No one's listening to Ghost from Tom McDonald if he was singing that in karaoke and it was some song he made up and he wasn't a famous rapper. Nobody would be like, holy shit, you should be a pro singer. He just doesn't have that voice. He's not winning American Idol. That's all I meant. It's not a diss, it's a fact. This dude apparently has got some pipes. That's really impressive. Let's pop that back. What just happened here? Sorry, I seem to have gotten an ad brought up on here. So really, his voice was so good, I missed basically everything he was saying. Um, See, I somehow got on Mises' song. Sorry, everybody. I just gotta pop this backwards here. All right, here we go.
I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday.
Great production here too.
I was walking home on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Not looking back, but I'm not looking forward to anything in my life, cause it never liked me. I can't sleep cause I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunt and do divide me.
Said I can't sleep because I don't know what's inside me. The devil's demons haunting. I feel you. I haven't slept more than my max I sleep is about 2.5. Sometimes I hit 3 hours before I wake up, and I have to toss and turn and go back to sleep. Get another hour or two, wake up, go back to sleep. That's my night. How's yours?
What's inside me?
So I got these bags.
The devil's demons haunt and do divide me. And I think I'm over it, so I won't stop walking. If I told you a story that you wouldn't believe, not sure I should feel a sigh of relief. Yeah, damn, but he didn't get me. But for some odd reason, I don't feel free.
I don't know if he's making a direct. I mean, it seems like he's talking about the Catholic Church here. He said, he got them, but they didn't get me. Right, even showing a priest and a boy together. I mean, I think the implications right there are pretty clear. That imagery, we all know what that means.
Stop walking. If I told you a story.
Now I'm just noticing that is he coming out of a church here, and he's bloody? Okay, I follow you.
Stop walking. If I told you a story that you wouldn't believe, not sure I should feel a sigh of relief. Yeah, damn, but he didn't get me. But for some odd reason, I don't feel free. So now what? This pain is too much. The screams of the people make music in my head until listen's too tough. So I'm.
Screams of the people make music in my head until listen's too tough. Dax is a bit of a poet, isn't he? I haven't watched a lot of his music, but I have obviously the one he did with Tom McDonald, which wasn't one of my favorite songs, although I did like the message behind it a lot. I'll blame the rappers. And I've seen the one where it's like the apocalypse. I can only remember the video. Like his production level on this video is top notch here. He's a bit of a poet, right?
So now what? This pain is too much. The screams of the people make music in my head until listen's too tough. So I must wipe my mind of everything I saw in that church. Suppress all these feelings even though that they hurt. I don't understand how you could let this happen. God, I wanna know why you would even let that man on earth.
Whew. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about a singer on here. There's a rapper who can sing. Ugh. Give me goosebumps, man. Damn. I'll pop that back. And let alone the topic that he's singing about here just lends it that much more weight.
Suppress all these feelings even though that they hurt. I don't understand how you could let this happen. God, I wanna know why you would even let that man on earth.
He said, God, I want to know how you would even let that man on earth. And we know which man he's talking about here.
Stand how you can let this happen. God, I wanna know why you would even let that man on earth. I believe that this life is by you and whatever you choose is the best. I believe in the choices you make, even though they may hurt and affect. I'm just human, I don't understand you. I know you are very complex. What should I go do next? My thoughts cannot connect. My PTSD shakes me and leaves me to.
Okay. He's talking to God directly here, I'm pretty sure. I just wanted to make certain. No, I want to talk about this a second.
Believe in the choices you make. And on earth, I believe that this life is by you and whatever you choose is the best.
He said, I believe this life is by you and whatever you choose is the best. I think he's talking to God directly with that.
I believe in the choices you make, even though they may hurt and affect.
I believe in the choices you make, even though they may hurt indirect. Now, I don't believe that way. I do not believe that God is up there controlling every little thing that happens here on this planet. I think that honestly, that's an absurd. To me, that's just an absurd thing. And I've got an extensive background in religion, and religious upbringing and religious study. So it's not like I'm just some atheist or anything, and I'm not saying that. But I do not believe that God is up there controlling the day-to-day events here on Earth. So when you say things like, why would God let this happen? God's not letting anything happen, and he's not letting anything happen, in my opinion. Now, my opinion doesn't invalidate your opinion. If you think differently, your opinion is not invalidated because I happen to disagree with it any more than mine is invalidated if you disagree with me. We're all entitled to believe what we want to believe, and in the end, we're all responsible for our own beliefs. Am I right? So I'm not seeking to shit on anybody else's beliefs. I think it's possible to disagree and still respect each other and come together and discuss it without any anger or malice. So those of you that might want to sound off in the comments about me with that, that's fine. And I'm not gonna come back on you with any type of thing. You can believe what you want to believe about God and everything else, and so will I, and we'll all be fine, you know. But what he's saying right here, while I don't think it's reality, it's powerful and it's poetry.
I'm just human, I don't understand you. I know you are very complex.
He said, I'm just fuming. I don't understand you. I know you are very complex.
What should I go do next? My thoughts cannot connect. My PTSD shakes me and leaves me depressed. In the back of my mind, there's a place that I know full of sorrow. When I think of those times, my anxiety feels what is hard.
That's a powerful statement right there. Let's talk about this here.
When I think of those times that in the back of my mind, there's a place that I know full of sorrow.
In the back of my mind, there's a place that I know full of sorrow.
When I think of those times, my anxiety feels what is hollow.
When I think of those times, my anxiety feels what is hollow.
I don't know when it'll go away, but I hope it'll go away.
I don't know when it'll go, but I hope it'll go away. Yeah, I don't think it ever does go away. I think when you suffer events like this video is alluding to here, or events of violence of any kind, I don't think you ever get over it. I just think you learn to deal with it in ways that allow you to move on to, like, I can only speak to my experience. You know what I would like? I'd like to be able to think about what happened without the pain and the anguish that comes with it. Like right now, just that mention. How does somebody get over that? I don't think you do. I just think you learn to deal with it, and I just would like to get to a point where that those emotions don't rip to the surface every time you think about what happened, or the people that it happened to, or the person, or whatever it is that's going on in your life. That's how it is for me.
I just pray I feel better when I sleep and wake up tomorrow.
I just pray I feel better when I sleep and I wake up tomorrow. Ain't that the truth, brother?
Left foot, right foot, keep walking. Left foot, right foot, keep walking. Don't look back, your past is haunting. Demons creeping, always stalking. In that church, I got down crawling. Could not stop my eyes from falling. Children screaming, bodies falling. Keeps on shooting, bullets haunting. Someone help us, please just stop him. Why is he laughing? He's been plotting. Says get up, I hear death calling. I stood up and started walking. We locked eyes and he was smiling. Shot himself, I saw him dying. Adrenaline was in my system, I couldn't stop, I had to go. But I just knew that if I made it, I'd get out and praise the Lord. Now I'm walking on this Sunday and I just hope I make it home. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday. I was walking home on a Sunday.
Oh, well, some of that imagery really hit home for me. The last scene with the guy who burst into the church, the way he ended his existence there. That was, this leaves me a little bit of a loss for words, everybody. I've never experienced anything like the events of this video, but it's touched bases on things that are definitely at play in my life. I have like I'm blessed, very blessed, in order to have had a handful of very good friends over the years since I was a young child. And there's still a few of us around, and um, one of them died in a very similar fashion as to what was just shown in that video, under completely different circumstances beyond his control. And and then one of my other friends was a victim of something that this show is depicting. It just wasn't a religious individual. That's just, what a powerful thing. I don't know what to say. This is why I kind of didn't want to watch this in a way. It's just because it's depressing. But yeah. What did you all think of that video? I mean, let's talk about the production levels first. Like, those were really top notch. I don't know who does Dax's videos, but they do a damn good job. Like, wow, that was like movie level quality. And I guess that the ones I've seen of his in the past, the one that was in the it was like the apocalypse looking thing, that was very well done also. It's very well written. I mean, the message is powerful. Um, that's not the type of PTSD that I'm dealing with in my life. Mine is the result of violence that occurred. And then I'm dealing with depression from the result of a death of my best friend I've ever have. That's just tough, man. Dealing with life is hard, and it's almost impossible to do by yourself, right? So I guess the message of this song, going by the end of the video is, going to be to reach out to people. It's not good to bear this type of thing alone. I can say that, speaking for myself, it's hard. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to run off to a counseling session or a survivors group or that type of thing. And I've thought about it, but I didn't. And I'm not gonna. I don't like to sound like a complainer. I come from an era where you man the F up and you deal with it. You sure as hell don't complain about it. You don't whine about it. You don't make people feel sorry for you. You deal with your problems on your own, quietly shoving them deep down inside, basically. Even though we all know that's unhealthy, but that's just the way it was, man. And that's what a lot of young men were taught, and that's what a lot of young men do. And I think it's important, for other outlets to be found for that type of thing, and in a way that's that's good. So it's good that, I mean, it's not in a way, it is good that Dax did this video and these focused. I'm sure the other ones are very similar with a focus on depression and alcoholism. So I'm just going to bring this video to a close with that. And if you're struggling with PTSD, if you're struggling with depression, alcoholism, I mean, reach out for help. I mean, that's what everybody says, right? I don't want to just repeat what everybody says, because what's the point? Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'll tell you that. When I see that at the end of a video, it means nothing to me. There's a dude, though, on here, Cliff Beats. I recommend you check out his channel. That's a guy who, he always ends his videos, it seems to me, where he says, if you're dealing with issues or something, reach out to him. And I bet he's the kind of guy that would reach out back to you if you were, And I don't know. The best I can say is you better reach out to somebody. That's the best thing you can do. There's got to be somebody in your life. You can try shooting me a message if you want. My email is in the About Me section if you're signed in. I'm at the LVME on Instagram. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Hate to end it on such a somber note, but it was a somber video with some serious topics. So let me know your thoughts. Give me a like and a sub if you're down. I'll catch you on the next one, everybody. Later.